Hello, Hawkeye fans. This is Ben McCullum, the head coach of the Iowa men's basketball team. Returning to Iowa City as the head coach is a dream come true. The passion of Iowa fans is unmatched, and I'm incredibly excited to get started on this new journey together. I look forward to seeing our fans on campus across the state and throughout the nation. Here's to big things coming and an exciting future ahead. Go Hawks!
On the Hawkeye Sports Network from Learfield, this is the Fight for Iowa podcast. Here's the voice of the Hawkeyes, Gary Dolphin.
New Iowa running backs coach Omar Young hit the ground rushing into his new position when appointed in mid-March. This entire year has been hasty for the Oakland, California native who has an extensive NFL resume with stops in New England, Chicago, Green Bay, and Cleveland. Young was coaching running backs at the Senior Bowl in Mobile this past January. The O-line coach on that staff was one James Ferentz, and they built a nice relationship. When Liddell Betts was hired as running backs coach with Ferentz's employer, the New York Giants, Young took that as a good luck cue.
I reach out to him and he goes, "Oh, well, I was thinking about you too." So that was kind of initial start. He basically kind of gave me a blueprint of how to go about, getting in touch with some people here. And then just as the process unfolded, it was just, this guy knows this guy knows this guy. And it was great that way to just see the network that you have kind of come forward for you and speak about you and put you in a great light to be in a position that I am right now, And extremely thankful for everybody that kind of spoke on my behalf and said nice things and gave me an opportunity to show the staff, that I was a piece to be able to help in this situation. So,
well, Liddell has left the position in pretty good shape, hasn't he? There's some depth there, some guys, some great experience. What are your impressions? I know you've only been here a few weeks, but and through a couple workouts, but what do you see? What do you foresee for the running back, the tailback position? Because as you know, at Iowa, we run the football.
Absolutely. And if you go in my office, actually, you'll see a hat that says "Run the damn ball." And so, these guys will see me wear that quite often. Shout out to Khalil Herbert on that one. But going back to Coach Betts, Coach Betts is great. The room that he has put together, these guys are freaking phenomenal. They come here ready to work. They are on time. They do everything that you ask them to do, right? And they try and do it to the best of ability, and they go as hard as they can. So that's all I can ask for, right? And then it's my job now to just make sure we continue that and probably take that to another step and another level, right? Everybody's asking about Caleb Johnson and where it's going to be and how is the running back room going to be. The running back room is going to be just fine, right? We have more than enough talent in this room to get the job done, and we're going to let this spring play out and go about, the competition that way and see who rises to the top and then finish it off in fall camp and see where that lands. I told Coach Lester this when I first got here. I said, you guys did that with the little amount of the playbook that you guys had. I can't imagine what we do with just 10% more of that, and so it's great to see that there's more that we can do and that we will do that's going to make this offense even more explosive. All right, that's going to make the O-line's job easier. That's going to make the quarterback's job easier, and be able to showcase our tight ends and our receivers and lights that put them in position as well, because the group is great, man, and the staff is phenomenal. And when you talk about outside zone, from a run game perspective in college football, I think of Iowa, right? And the things that the marry of what we're doing here and the marry of the systems that I've been in for 6+ years now is very similar. So it makes it really fun to see, the opportunities that we have too as well.
Kamari Moulton really flashed at the bowl game. Terrell Washington's got great speed. Jazz Patterson has tremendous experience. And I know Kirk's high on some of the young guys, the first and second year guys that we haven't really seen yet. So you've got some pieces to work with. But let's focus on Kamari for a minute, his skill set, Terrell and Jazz.
Yeah. I think if you start with Kamari, right, that guy has uber amounts of talent, right? And his ability to be able to hit a home run and get a first down on 3rd and 1, right? And then you talk about Jazz, and Jazz is just like, when I think of Jazz, I think of a Tasmanian devil, right? Like that guy is just balls to the wall, effort, energy, all the time. And we just got to clean up some of the things with those guys. And then when you add TJ and that dynamic ability that he's going to bring to our room from his time as a receiver, right? But then his ability to still be able to run the ball effectively and efficiently, those 3 guys are really, you know what I mean, going to be who we kind of rely on. But like you hit on already, right, the young guys with Xavier, with Brevin, right, and even with Nathan. And Nathan's kind of just learning on the fly. But you see the talent there, right, and you see the potential there. And you see that this group is going to be really freaking good, right? And we just got to keep getting them along, pushing them along. That's exactly right. And the more that we take that and the more consistent that we become, the better we're going to be and the better this team will be. You know, being a West Coast guy, you see the Rose Bowl and you see the Big Ten, right? And you see the Pac-12 back in the day. And so you get familiar with this conference. And then for as long as I've been in the Midwest now, right, besides my little stint last year in New England, like this is like Big Ten country, right? And that's all you see. That's all that's on. That's all you hear. Like, it's crazy. I don't have Big Ten Network, but somehow I got Big Ten Network. You know what I mean? Like you kind of, so you have an idea and a pulse of what's going on and what it takes. And that's one of the things that I liked about it was the alignment piece, right? From my philosophy of wanting to be physical, you know, and effort and toughness and all those things that Coach Ferentz talks about and preaches with our teams now and teams that he's had in the past were all things that I believe in, right? And that's like one of the, you know, besides the Big Ten, don't get me wrong, but that's a big draw when you can have that alignment, right? And now in my career, like that's what I want, right? I want good people, and I want to come to a place where it's like, oh yeah, like I know exactly what we're going to get every single day. You know, in my time in Chicago, you know, we were one of the best run teams, you know, in the league the couple of years I was there. And that's what we hung our hat on too, right? And you got to play into that, right? Your geographics matter, you know what I mean? And so you got to kind of recruit to that, and you got to play into that because those are going to become factors. When that hawk, you know, no pun intended, starts rolling in here, right? Like it's a different ball game, right? And it takes a different type of mentality and a different person to come in here and be willing to, you know, put up with those elements and then be able to and be willing to go tackle a guy 30 times a game, you know, when he's coming downhill. Right, that's exactly right. And then now, next thing you know, you're trying to stop that and we throwing the ball over your head. So it's really fun that way to see how all of those things marry, you know, and I think you're exactly right, just making sure that we stay within the footprint of what we do, and it's always been that way, and we won't shy away from that either.
No need to shy away from opposing run defenses with a stable of solid running backs. Kamari Moulton returns with his 5.5-yard average per carry. Jazz Patterson got 63 carries and a 5-yard average a year ago. Jet quick sophomore Ty Washington and freshman Nathan McNeil, Xavier Williams, and Brevin Dahl give the Hawkeyes great depth at that position.
Hello, Iowa. Here's a promise. Wherever you are in this great state, University of Iowa Healthcare is here for you, even if you never walk through our doors. Educating, caring, leading research, sharing our expertise with all. Because we believe that UI Healthcare is here to make all of Iowa better. UI Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. Visit uihealthcare.org.
This is the sound of grilling season. It's time to get back to cookouts, to gathering with friends and family, and making memories. And with Hy-Vee's lower prices on thousands of items all over the store, you can still get the best quality meat and everything else you need for your barbecues at prices that will make you smile. Get back to grilling for less, with a little help from Hy-Vee.
The silly moments, the proud moments, even the hard moments. They're what make life remarkable. And they're why Wellmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield is here for every moment, committed to making healthcare better, more affordable, with more choices for care, and service and coverage that give you peace of mind no matter what comes your way, so you can show up for every tender moment, every brave moment, and every wouldn't miss it for the world moment, knowing that Blue is here for you. Go to Wellmark.com/every moment to find a plan right for you.
Something big is happening at Hy-Vee. We've just lowered thousands and thousands of prices on thousands and thousands of items in every aisle and in every department. Online, too. And on many of your favorite products, we've even matched prices with some of the biggest discount stores in the country. Because we get it, times are still tough. So we'll continue to work hard to bring you new lower prices on thousands of items. Things are looking different at Hy-Vee. Come see for yourself.
There's a new head Hawk in town. Ben McCullum is entering his first season as the Iowa men's basketball coach. McCullum is striving to continue his winning ways in Iowa City. Join us for the new era of Iowa basketball. Reserve your season tickets for the 2025-26 season today. Give us a call at 1-800-IA-HAWKS to learn more. On Iowa, go Hawks. It takes blockers in the Iowa tradition to create holes to run through, and the Hawkeyes looked at a lot of big bodies in the spring, especially at tackle, where replacements for Mason Richmond and Nick DeYoung are needed. Guard fixture Connor Colby likewise is off to the NFL. Logan Jones, an all-Big Ten center, does return for his final season. Hawkeye line coach George Barnett has watched junior Jack Dotzler and sophomore Trevor Lauk slug it out for the left tackle position. Jennings Dunker has solidified things at right tackle. At guard, Bo Stevens and Mike Myslinski are 100% healthy and nasty. Barnett likes what he sees in the trenches.
It's been a good spring that way where Dotzler and Lauk, even Cannon Leonard has made big strides, but Dotzler and Lauk have really led the way and had probably their best spring they've had. And then obviously we have a transfer coming in, so we're always trying to embolden each position and make it as competitive as possible, and I think we're doing that. Mike Myslinski's a hell of a story. Both guys. If you really knew each guy's story, it would make a good book. Mikey comes in after sitting basically 2 years out and is playing highly competitive football right now, and filled in for Logan and really didn't miss much of a beat in there. And that's just a tribute to him and how he's worked through adversity and his mentality. And it's just fun watching him out enjoying the game of football after sitting out for so long. And then Bo Stevens has been consistent as we've seen. I think 7 games through the last season, he had the most reps of anybody on the team, where the previous 2 years he was battling everything. So same thing. He had a great spring. He didn't play today, but his first 3.5 weeks of spring, just a lot of improvement, and just seeing him playing the game at his own pace and tempo is fun.
Tempo and timing, always critical to the Hawkeyes' success in the offensive line. George Barnett feels he has that in North Dakota transfer Cade Borrad, who starred at Southeast Polk High School. Borrad is 6'2", 300 pounds. He projects at guard. Iowa opens the season August 30th in Kinnick Stadium, hosting Albany College of New York. I'm Gary Dolphin for the Fight for Iowa podcast. Go Hawks.
You've been listening to the Fight for Iowa podcast. Hawkeye fans, remember to hit the subscribe button on your favorite podcast app. Once you become a Fight for Iowa podcast subscriber, you'll automatically receive the latest episodes of the Fight for Iowa podcast, the Hawkeyes Voice podcast, Hawk Talk replays, exclusive game day content, and more. Until next time, on Iowa, and go Hawks! The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Hawkeye Sports Network.